about special journals. Before we do that though, let's review the accounting procedures and processes. Remember that we have business transactions that go down. We record those business transactions in a general journal. Remember the debits and credits by date order, and then we post it to the general ledger. The general ledger is organized by accounts, and it has the running account balances for each of those accounts. After that, we create a trial balance to make sure our debits and credits equal. And then finally, we create our financial statements. I know I'm skipping the adjustments right now, but I'm just giving an overall big picture of what goes down. The reason why we have to remember this is in this chapter, we're told that it's not only the general journal that we record business transactions in, it's also in other places or other journals called special journals. That's where we are in this chapter, special journals. And don't forget, under the general ledger, we also have subsidiary ledgers, which is accounts payable subsidiary ledger and accounts receivable subsidiary ledgers, where it keeps track of creditors and suppliers and customers separately for each of their balances. Now, let's talk about specifically special journals, which is what this chapter is all about. The goal of special journals is to process data more efficiently. More specifically, you don't have to keep writing the same accounts over and over again. It's transactions that are very similar to each other that debit or credit the same account. And it makes it easier to divide work between journalizing and posting. Let's get an overview of the journals. The first one that we're familiar with is the general journal. The general journal, in essence, we're only going to record adjustments and closing entries. So again, the general journal, we're only going to record adjustments and closing entries from now on. Even though the previous chapters we've been recording everything in the general journal. Everything else goes in the following 4 journals. The first one is the cash receipts journal. The golden rule on that is any transaction where you debit cash. Second one is the cash payments journal. That's any transaction where you credit cash. The third one is the purchase journal. That's any transaction where you credit accounts payable. And you'll know that when it says on account, because on account either means accounts payable or accounts receivable. And the last one is the sales journal. This is any transaction where you debit accounts receivable. So here we are, we have our 4 special journals: the sales journal, the cash receipts journal, the purchases journal, and the cash payments journal. Let's go to the first one. The first one is the sales journal. Feel free to pause the video to analyze the example below. It's also known as the revenue journal. The most important rule about the sales journal is you must debit accounts receivable. So any transaction where you debit accounts receivable, you're going to journalize in the sales journal. Not in the general journal, but in the sales journal. If you recall, this is any transaction that is a fee on account or a transaction where you give the customer time to pay. Next, we're going to go over the cash receipts journal. The cash receipts journal is any transaction where you debit the cash account. So again, any transaction where you debit the cash account. When this happens, you're not going to record it in the general journal, but you're going to record it in the cash receipts journal. The next special journal we have is the purchases journal. With the purchases journal, you want to record any transaction that credits accounts payable. So any transaction that credits accounts payable, you must record it in the purchase journal. I must emphasize, not in the general journal, but the purchases journal. So all items purchased on account, it must deal with accounts payable. Okay, now the very last journal or special journal we have is called the cash payments journal. This is an easy one. Any transaction where you credit cash. Again, any transaction where you credit cash, you must record in the cash payments journal and not in the general journal. On our last slide of the day, I'm going to go over examples that you should be familiar with, meaning business transactions that we've seen before. And if you know what to debit and what to credit, then you will know which special journal that it belongs into, whether it be the general journal or one of the 4 special journals. For number 1, that belongs in the general journal. The owner withdrew supplies, so that's a debit to drawing and a credit to supplies. You know that it doesn't belong in a special journal because it doesn't involve accounts payable, accounts receivable, or cash. So one of those accounts need to be affected to belong in the special journal. And number 2, a sale was made on account. That deals with accounts receivable, a debit to accounts receivable, so that belongs in the sales journal. Number 3, payment to vendor on account. Because it's a payment and cash is going out, that belongs in the cash payments journal. That's a debit to AP and a credit to cash. Number 4, payment received from customer on account. You're receiving cash here, so it's in the title of actually in the special journal, so that's cash receipts journal. You're going to debit cash and credit AR, cash receipts journal. Number 5, purchases on account. So the company bought something on account. And if that's the case, that belongs in the purchases journal because you're going to debit purchases and the credit accounts payable. The rule there is you're buying something on account and it's AP. Number 6, adjusting journal entry for supplies used. As I stated earlier on, any adjustments or closing entries belong in the general journal. The debit there is supplies expense and the credit is supplies. Number 7, the owner took out cash. Well, the owner is getting paid cash from the company, so that belongs in the cash payments journal. You're going to debit drawing and credit cash. Number 8, the company borrows money from the bank. And because you're receiving cash from the bank after you take out that loan, number 8 deals with the cash receipts journal. You're going to debit cash and you're going to credit notes payable. Number 9, you record monthly depreciation. That's a form, or that's an adjustment which happens every end of the month. So you're going to record that in the general journal because, again, any adjustments or closing entries belong in the general journal. You're going to debit depreciation expense and credit accumulated depreciation. Number 10, you're going to close revenue accounts at the end of the month. That's a closing entry, so that belongs in the general journal. There, you're going to debit sales and you're going to credit retained earnings. That's closing entries for number 10. I hope that makes sense. Again, the general rule is for the general journal, it's adjustments and closing entries. Everything else goes in one of the 4 special journals. Okay, now we have a second example, also numbers 1 through 10. Pause the video and try it. Try to see which journal they belong in. Here's the answers.